Okay, I want to set up my budget book, which is just a notebook dot grid from Erin Condren. And I did an April setup before with the, we get paid every Friday. So I did a chunk for each paycheck and which bills come due on that paycheck. And then the overall monthly budget, which isn't finished yet, but what we budgeted, and at the end of the month, I go through and total what we actually spent. So next month's budget will be a little more realistic. And then expense tracking for the month. So, using April as a reference, because we'll have the same number of paychecks in May, I'm going to set up May. Little overkill. Oh well. That was horrible. Except maybe. So we started, wow, trying to follow Dave Ramsey off and on for the last few years. That is horrible. And something or another would come up, and we'd fall off the wagon and not be able to do it. I hear this probably the last 6 months we've been trying to do it. We've had a lot more success than normal. We made a huge dent in our debt payoffs, as well as actually having emergency savings. We pull back money out of our emergency savings more often than we should, but we always build it back up. So that's going well. Car insurance. Our toll money. make sure where the dates line up. So the 1st through the 7th. So we'll have PSO, AT&T Progressive, PSO, Hike Pass. Yeah, PSO. I'm missing, that's our electricity. And this month is $133.02. I don't know what we're paying in tolls. We're trying to get that down. Progressive is $223.67. AT&T is $238.02. And my husband has a sordid past, so we are paying on some fees to get all that taken care of. Luckily, he's come around. So this paycheck will be the 1st, 5/1/2020. This one will be the 8th, 2020. And this will be 15th and 22nd. And I don't count the paycheck on the 29th because it's actually paying bills for June, so it'll show up in June's. And like in April, I didn't count this upcoming paycheck. What will it be? Today's Tuesday, 2nd, 23rd, 24th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The 24th, I didn't count that paycheck because it's not paying any of the May bills, but it's also not paying any of the April bills, so it's just a freebie, if you will. So the 8th, we need to pay our TDS, and that's our internet. And water's not due yet. It's going to the 14th, so we'll have my credit card is DOC and GPS, and not the truck. That'll fall in the next paycheck. So that'll be a Q. So TDS is $66.70. Put in 100. It's $22.50 and $23.50. And the 15th, first one is going to be his truck. The 19th is water. It's actually water, sewer, trash, but this is easier to write. And iTunes, and then the car will be on the next one. Oh, and his credit card. Yeah. And iTunes. Luckily, I am still a student, so my iTunes is still really cheap. I might have to drop it when I'm not a student anymore, which will be sad, because I have a lot of stuff on there. His truck is $257.66, and water, we're budgeting $60. It varies. We're budgeting $30. We usually pay more, and this is just $4.99. Oh, and my Kindle Unlimited. I need to add that to my thing. That is $9.99. Let me add that right now. Kindle. saying that for a while, so I'm going to fill it in. And it'll just keep going, but later. Then we'll have my car payment. Which is $283.63. And that is the end of the bills. What? So this is my basic setup. In the front, I just changed my covers because I sent the wrong cover for this, but in the front I'm going to have a debt balances page with somewhere to update. And this is Sharpie because dry erase will just wipe right off every time you close it and your front will get nasty. But you can rub it with your hand, or you can use some hand sanitizer, there we go, to get it off. So I'll have that there, and then I haven't pinned this in yet because it keeps changing, but I've done a kind of calculation of sinking funds that I want to keep in the front so that if we want to add anything or change anything, I know our baseline, basically. That's it. I'm going to set up my monthly side over here, and then I'll finish the headers. Okay, and we added house insurance this month, so I need to do that. We got 2, income actual blank. COME. Uh-oh, here comes the kiddo. Yes.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can't I have a snack yet?
The what?
Snack? It's 3:15.
What are you thinking for a snack?
Maybe some chips or an apple?
You can have an apple.
No chips?
No chips.
Can we do Minecraft together for a bit?
In a bit. Right now I'm recording.
Reporting or recording?
Recording.
Oh.
Like making a YouTube video? Would that be cool or what?
It is.
Okay. So now I'm going to start the table. Sorry if my head got in there. First video, don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So this roughly follows Dave Ramsey. You have our 4 walls, and I'm considering internet a requirement because I'm a student currently, so I have to have the internet, especially right now, to do my schoolwork, even though I don't know that Dave Ramsey would necessarily consider it required. That starts all the way at the edge. My handwriting is awful. I'm a very shaky person, so I'm sorry. Okay, so we have, I grouped all these together just because they all wind up on the same receipts and the same transactions, so it's just easier to lump them all. Toiletries. It's long. What's next? PSO, TDS, water, phones. Okay, so my phone died, even though it was plugged into the charger. Don't quite know how that happens, but it did. So I think we left off here, and I just wrote these in. We'll get back to it. Emergency. And I split our sinking funds up in here. It's all one account at the bank, but this helps me keep track of how much we have available in each fund. Maintenance, home, and property tax. Wow. Not yaks. Tax. Okay. And totals and then extra expense. Messed it up on that one. Totals and extra expense. I can't decide if I'm going to write in uppercase or lowercase, and that's completely normal for me. I'm just weird, I guess. Another one I do is I'm always capitalizing words that start with I, like ideas. Ideas is the main one. Don't know why. I've done it since I was a kid. Apparently ideas are a capital kind of word. Yes, expense has an S. S, X, X, N. Wow, that is shaky. And I kind of created extra expense as a category. For stuff that, if things get bad, I know exactly what can be cut, what's not at all, any kind of requirement. Would be the first place I go to cut. Subscriptions. Clothing and charity. Doctors and dentists. And med refills. Don't want to have to cut those. But it comes down to medicine or food. I actually had to make pretty rough money decisions in my 20s, deciding if I would feed a baby or get diapers. And I decided diapers wouldn't have much point if the baby couldn't use them, so I went with food. We were pretty broke. Thank God we're not there anymore. I did that for 10 years, I want to say. I'm just going to make that another C. Totals. You did not come here to learn how to letter, because I'm not a good teacher for that, obviously. Okay, now the boxes. I thought I was crazy for a second. And that. Okay. I messed that up. And we did, I believe, 3 boxes. I don't know if you can hear, but my son is over there listening to Minecraft YouTube videos. We love Minecraft. While I was waiting for my phone to charge, we actually played some Minecraft. So there's budget and spent amounts, and also what's saved and paid. So debts and savings get an extra column. And I decided to do this because for example, in emergency savings, we would budget to save so much for car maintenance, for example, and we would save it, but then we'd spend some. And I wanted to be able to differentiate between what we actually saved versus what we budgeted to save versus what we spent out of what we saved, if that makes sense. So we could keep track of what was going where and how it was being used easily. And we don't spend anything on his fees, we just pay him, so I crossed those 3 out. I forgot one. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, that way they're all together. Whoopsie daisy. This is my best friend. I use it all the time. Crazy Fair. And then my credit card. And then his credit card. Credit card. And then totals. That one almost doesn't make it on the page. No, I don't have another dot, so. I have been watching YouTube videos for 2 years, I want to say, between planner stuff and bullet journal stuff and tutorials for my college work. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I've toyed with the idea of making videos and started to make a few and decided not to go with it because I'm self-conscious like everyone else. And I finally decided, after watching someone else's budget setup, that this might be beneficial to somebody. So I filmed it. So here we are. I'll take this dashboard out so we can see the whole shebang. And I'm going to get a sticker for May. Where is it? It's gonna be, I have way too many stickers, as I'm sure everyone can relate. So finding them is interesting. Did I use the big? I used the big one. Okay. Oh, right. Need my tweezers because I just chopped all my nails off. Okay. Oh, and I need to erase. You go there. Those are, it's kind of embarrassing. These are actually a blackhead removal tool, but they work amazing because of the little pokey. The little bitty pokey end is amazing for getting up underneath stickers if they don't want to pop. Much better than normal tweezers. And I got them on Amazon for like $4. Stupid cheap. Okay, and I am extremely OCD, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, okay. And it was the Y. Right? Budget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dang it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, the Y goes here. I have a problem. Anything is even slightly off center. I can't. And I've probably messed some, but they'll drive me crazy down the road. Budget. Oh no. Monthly. M-O-N-T-H. This is why I do this all the time. Yar. Yes.
Can I have some milk?
Save it for dinner. Okay. If I let that child, he would drink an entire cow dry. So we have to regulate his milk consumption. So strange. I was the same way though. And that is that. So then every Thursday, because we get paid Fridays, every Thursday my husband and I sit down and we say, okay, this is how many hours you got. So you got 40 hours. And I do the math to find what he'll really get paid after taxes, because I've done this so much that I just know. Like, I use my monthly and I track his hours for the week and then how much he got paid, and have like a key here for how many hours was how much money in overtime. And so, oh, okay, 40 is close to 38, so it'll be about that much money, and I'll write it in with pencil, call it 610. I would always shoot low because extra money is awesome. And we add up our bills, and we say, okay, out of this 610, this much we have to pay in bills, and we'll have so much left over. Where do we want to put it? And this is where his zero budget comes in, but we do it a lot different, I think. This is just easier for me to understand. If we have any tags coming up, which I do, I have to tag this month. We'll check on our sinking funds and say, okay, is there enough to cover the tags? Do we need to supplement? Those sorts of things, and we play around with it. And these budget meetings are maybe 20 minutes once a week. They don't take long. And we know where our money's going, which is awesome. So I'm going to end it here. I plan on doing some plan with me's too. I'll give you a peek this week. This is my spread this week. Take out my bookmark. And I was going to film it, but I've already pretty much done everything, so I've got to wait for a week where I didn't already plan it. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. If you liked it, like. If you want to see more of my videos, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.